Welcome back to Super Tuesday Recap. It is Kriss finally back with Dpalm. And we are here to talk about Season 3, Episode 10 of The Flash. Barring problems from the future, Barry and Team Flash must figure out a way to change the future to save Iris from her inevitable death. And I'm not going to read this entire synopsis because it's really too long. But yeah, so we're going to leave it there. Before we get too far into this, we do have a review, but it was on the main MTR feed. Make sure you try to put those on the Super Tuesday feed so remember to get them off. But Dpalm had a good eye and was able to catch this one. So Dpalm, go ahead and read it.
Yeah, this is from Scar in NYC, Flashback. Thanks, guys. Longtime listener here. Your recap Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. podcast is the one thing I always look forward to because it flashes me back to when I was younger and getting together with my friends, reading, talking, and trading comics. Great job, Dpalm, sub-hosting. Miss Kriss, but Justin didn't miss a beat stepping in. Yeah, thanks for stepping in for it, Justin. That was a big help. Feels like I'm back with my buds. Do you think that Daisy's reaction what do you think Daisy's reaction will be when she finds out that the Patriot Serum is an offshoot of the Hyde formula? That's a good question. We'll get to that later, but that's a good question.
Yeah. That end of it?
That was it, yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, thanks for those reviews, and like I said, it's good to have everything back.
Hey, make sure everyone goes premium so that we get Kriss singing. I think the date's going to be like mid-March is our deadline.
Yeah, it's March now.
It's not urgent yet, but I want to make everybody's mind. Put the coins away.
You need about 65 more people to sign up. So
let's go, people. Get multiple email addresses. We can make this happen.
No, I definitely that it does not work that way. And I definitely see everybody who signs up. So don't try that.
Wait, does my premium access count? Does my access count?
That's why it's so high. I'm counting people that are contributors now, but also are premium access. So I'm counting all of you guys in that 200. See, so I'm being nice here.
I wanted to make sure. That's why I asked on the air.
I am being right. Get it on record. So when I come back to it's only 197 guys. Sorry, you guys. Yeah. But I'm counting those. So we need about 65 more. At this point, and it's end of January, so you guys got a whole month and a half. So
yeah, I think they haven't even shot it yet because they just announced who the Music Meister's going to be. So
right, and actually they dropped his name in this episode anyway, so we'll get into that in a minute. I just want to say I came back. So I leave the country, and Obama's still president. I literally come back. I feel like I'm in Flashpoint, yo. I felt like I got off the plane. I felt like Barry Allen. Sun is nice and warm. I landed in Chicago. It's late. It's dreary. It's rainy. It's just terrible outside. Sun didn't come out for 3 fucking days. I'm like, God damn it, Barry Allen.
Welcome to the darkest timeline.
Right. This is. Oh my God. This is the fucking worst, man. All right, let's get into this episode, man. Where do you want to start with this?
I'll start at the beginning, man, because we finally got what we've been waiting for 3 seasons now?
Yeah. Iris
and Barry together. No running off into the past. No saving nobody's mama. This is kind of what it's supposed to be, but we've got the specter of the thing we saw before the break hanging over it all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just saying, I thought that the opening scene was played. Grant Gustin's a better actor than I give him credit for. And I give him a lot of credit because I think he's a great actor, but he really brought that. You could see he was fighting the happiness and the agony of knowledge all at once. And I'm glad we'll talk about this in a second, but I'm glad they evolved it where the team knows very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't drag it out and make it a Arrow-esque delay. But they did allow for it to breathe, and you allowed for Barry to wrestle with it, but to show the growth of acknowledging that secret keeping does not work well on the CW.
Right. There's that. And I also love the fact that if you think about it, this episode and the last episode, I almost kind of wish they didn't have the break on them. Because these episodes kind of end kind of happy.
That's actually one of my notes is to watch them together, to watch them back to back.
Right. Because
I feel like it's one big, this felt like a small Flash movie.
Yeah, it did. It did. This is a good 2 hours to watch together. And because I'm thinking in the back of my mind, just going, oh, they're way too happy. I mean, you get You get the happiness at the end of that Christmas episode with Barry and Iris at the loft, which again I'm still trying to figure out how the fuck how people afford some of these buildings and these places they have in movies and TV shows drive me crazy. But
so the fiance brought this up during the show too. My response was, one, it's the Midwest, property can't be that expensive.
Valid.
You're a flyover state because we fly over you. Sorry. And two, maybe Barry's just robbing people. Like he's the Flash. Like all those. Like I was like even the glassware. I was like, that's really nice glassware. That shit looks expensive. Like I'm planning a wedding. I have an idea of how much glassware is at this point. I was like, yeah, that's an expense. Just the layout.
When like it was one thing when you had the empty loft. You're like, okay, it's gonna take me a while to fill that up. They'll fill it, but then when they did the near the end of the episode where they show all the stuff laid out,
nigga, when he was like, I know you wanted to unpack slowly together. I'm like, where did you live before, man? Where did all this shit come from? Like every time I move, I'm like, shit, I got more space than I need. Yo, I gotta fill this shit up.
That's all. That was all Iris's shit. Like, let's be honest here.
Iris is living alone.
Okay, but listen, you have a fiance.
I'm in my living room right now, trying to count how much of this stuff is mine.
Right. So let's be honest here.
You now put me in that place.
So let's think about this. All right. If you ever live with a woman and she's moved in with you, you know,
son of a bitch.
Right? All of that shit is hers. All of that shit, all of the nice shit, the rugs. You know, their bed probably got like 10 fucking pillows on it. All hers. All hers.
Yeah. Like I'm in the living room right now. Every piece of furniture in this living room is hers.
Right.
We bought the couch together, and my gun case is in here, so I guess the gun case counts, but it's not furniture. But like the shelves are hers.
This is why
the 2 tables are hers. I'm having a moment. Excuse me.
This is why all the times I see in the movies
son of a bitch.
When you have like the scorned woman throwing her husband or boyfriend stuff out onto the lawn, I go bullshit. He doesn't have all that shit. That shit is not his.
She should have handed him 2 shirts.
Right? two fucking grocery bags full of shit, and that's his stuff, yo. Like, come on.
I don't own that much stuff anymore in my life.
No, it's not. It's either her stuff
or our stuff.
Our stuff, and that's it. Like, I'm looking at this apartment. I'm like, yo, where the fuck? So then the question then becomes, where did Irish get the shit?
Where did Iris live before? Because we know Barry was staying with Joe.
Right.
So unless I see a blacklight poster, I'm going to assume none of the shit's his.
I'm just.
They filled that place up, and he did. I know he's Flash. He still did it really fast.
Right.
And you know what? He loses his powers. He's got a great eye. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. No.
It was a well put together.
No, I'm like, oh wait. I'm like, there's no way Barry decorated this shit himself. Like, no. I'm sorry. This is way too fucking nice. But like you said. Lose your power, he lose your job, Barry, go into interior decorating.
You have a second career.
Right. you got this. Like, these motherfucking, Sylvester Stallone and Demolition Man, yo. You can take up knitting, man. You can do this shit.
Yo, dude, this is his secondary mutation.
Right. I don't understand, man. Like, I'm sorry. I look at that apartment, like, yo, how are you, like, I get it, like, you know, Wells left him some of the buildings and stuff like that for Star Labs, and we'll get into this later with HR and the Star Labs museum stuff. But at some point, you guys got to start bringing in money because you ain't getting paid like that as a CSI. By the way, you don't do your job that often. You're not even the head guy in the lab because
you're the other dude. You're the assistant.
Yeah, you're the other guy. So Barry, where are you getting this fucking money from, yo? I saved up when.
We got a lemonade stand we don't know about there.
Hey, I'm sorry.
Talking about it
I'm sorry. It's just one of those things that bothers me sometimes in movies. Like ever since, like when you find out that when they used to do like Friends and in Seinfeld, and you find out how much those apartments would be in real life in New York, you're just like, it's like $500,000 apartment. How the fuck?
Oh yeah. I'm not a Friends person. That's not really speak to me as art, but
right.
I'm aware of the space they purportedly lived in.
Right.
And having gone to college in New York, I say the bullshit.
Right. I will take your advice though that it's the Midwest and they might be just giving away cheap. So
because you know what just kind of like Atlanta right now, they overextended on the mid '90s boom, and then no one actually moved in. So they're giving away shit. Like, there's good. There's value to be had.
Do you have 2 sticks to rub together? You do? All right, you're sold. Here you go. Take that, and yeah, just make sure you have your 2 sticks at the end of every month, and we're good.
We'll make it work.
But no. Like I said, I'm mad we spent like 10 minutes on that.
I think that was worth 10. That was a solid 10 minutes.
No, it was a solid 10 minutes.
I apologize for none of that.
Yeah, no, it was bothering me a little bit there, guys. Yeah, no, I like the dynamic that we're now seeing, and I think this is why I like the fact that they didn't rush into the relationship with Iris and Barry, because I like the payoff we're getting now. Like even down to him having the nightmares and having to live with seeing her die, and his behavior for most of this episode, and then him finally going, all right, cool, I'm going to tell her, and I'm going to tell the team, and then going from there, like, it made sense and it felt earned, you know? And
it felt really earned, and also, without the 3 years of pining, we wouldn't really feel the agony of trying to figure out to tell her or not.
Right. I mean, think about it. This is somebody who has been in love with Iris since we met him on The Flash, right? And he finally gets her. He finally tells her, finally gets the love of his life. And then he finds out in 4 months, she's going to be killed by one of his enemies. Like,
life is expedient.
I'm just saying that, like you said, like without having that 3-year buildup of their relationship, you don't understand the kind of, it does. You can't sell me on the like with Barry's actions this episode don't make sense if you don't have that there. If it was all in season 1, it doesn't make. You're like, Barry, why? It
feels so fucking rushed.
Yeah, you're like, Barry, why are you acting like a jerk to Wally? Why are you not telling anybody this? Why are you doing any of this stuff? But when you realize that it's literally Barry trying to figure out a way, like he's losing it. Like, we're gonna be
He's trying to figure out a way to hold on to one thing. He's like, I finally got it. Taking it away again. Fuck you. He's like, he's doing everything he can beyond going back in time again, to try to figure out how to keep it.
Which, by the way, they make it worse now. Now it's not him going back in time; it's him trying to solve the future. Which I'm like,
we're going to talk about that.
Oh my god, even more. I'm just gonna say here, I love the fact I looked it up. May 23rd is a Tuesday, so we are actually building up to an actual episode of this.
They did that on purpose. I looked at it too. I was like, okay,
yeah. Yeah, May 23rd, 2017 is a Tuesday.
It was when we looked at the last episode, it said it was like exactly 5 months from now, and it was exactly that time span. So.
Yeah. So, that is going to be an episode. We are going to see an episode with everything leading up. I'm loving how we're doing this. We're literally building up to what that May 23rd episode is going to be.
Yeah.
And, I can't wait. That's going to be... There's still episodes after it, I believe.
Oh, yeah. We're going to get Fallout.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be great. So, all right. So let's save this future stuff for later on. Hey, Barry and Wally working together.
And they didn't make it. They made it seem so normal. Mm-hmm. I love that it wasn't like some big dramatic Kid Flash introduction. It was just like, this is the natural course of things. Of course he's Kid Flash. Of course he's running. Of course his headpiece still doesn't fit right. Of course. It's so annoying, Chris.
Yeah, I know, it's driving me crazy. It's like, and I told him, like, yo, Wally will meet you there when they were talking about the fire. And I love the fact that the rest of the rest of Central City is not still trying to figure out who this new speedster is working with the Flash. And you kind of deal with it all in one episode. You have him kind of learn the ropes from Barry. You have I love Barry using science and not having to have somebody tell him what to do to put that fire out. You know?
Yo, were you waiting for him to say flash fact? Because I was.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I was.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I mean, even down to Wally doing the annoying sidekick thing of putting his suit where Barry's goes.
It's like that, but that's like a really small wrinkle that really, I think, paid off. It was worth it.
Yeah. So maybe foreshadowing too, right? No, I'm kidding.
Right?
Maybe.
Because Barry's gonna have somewhere to put the suit. Maybe I don't know, some sort of ring-shaped object.
Yeah, maybe. Huh. Also love the fact that they throw in send him to Keystone.
I'm like, wait a second. And also Greg Grunberg. Good job, keep getting to work, buddy.
Yeah.
It's always nice. I wonder, that was I wonder if he's going to be a recurring character because usually on these CW shows, he's probably going to get a 4 to 5 episode arc.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To where he learns to trust Kid Flash or something.
Right. Yeah, but I like that. And then you had Wally, you had Barry, then turning on Wally being a dick, and you're like, why are you being such? And you're like, oh, he doesn't want. He literally was not trying to put Plunder away because he thought that would be a way. And I'm like, Barry, you can be so stupid sometimes, which again is a Barry Allen thing.
Yeah, it's like the theme of the show, but at the same time, you're kind of like,
I get
it's not the worst. It's not the worst idea he's ever had.
Right. It's like, what if I? He said that one time. I was like, what if I just stop saving people? What if I stop doing it?
Savitar has no reason to come after me. Like, yeah, I mean, that, and that tells you where he is as far as what he's willing to do to keep her around.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Let's see. Yeah, so I love. Right now, I'm loving seeing Wally and Barry working. I'm wondering how much they're gonna they're gonna be able to do.
Yeah.
Could you even see it this episode the strain of them having 2 speedsters? The graphics weren't. It was the first time.
Yeah, there were some moments where you're like,
Yeah, I was like, not your best moments, guys, not your best moments. I'm gonna let you slide, but not your best moments. So it'll be interesting. But again, if you say Keystone, hey, maybe you send Wally to Keystone. I mean, we talked about this before.
Or maybe you send them with Jay to train.
Yeah, something. Or send them to Earth 2 with Jesse.
There's a lot of possibilities there, which is kind of free and kind of nice.
Yeah. Real quick, talk about Plunder. It took me a while to realize who Plunder was, and I was like, oh wait, this is from the Mirror. Remember the Mirror World episodes we did? I was
like, yeah. Well, they did. So in the comics, Plunder is actually is named Jacob Murillo, like in the show, but the Jacob Murillo on our side is actually just a cop. Mm-hmm. But his Mirrorverse counterpart was an assassin and a thief who got pulled into our universe.
Yeah.
And them doing Plunder without a Murillo on our side takes away from some of the gravitas of who Plunder is.
Yeah.
But it also kind of gives us a good throwaway villain for an episode that's not even a throwaway because he ties into a larger narrative for the end of the season. But now you've got him. You've been able to use this episode to literally, and without being punny, bring the audience up to speed. Because it's a comeback. Because things are going to slip people's minds. A lot's happened since, to say the least, since the last episode aired. You're able to get them to speed. You're able to reset some of the dynamics. You're able to set the forward momentum for the rest of the season. It was a setting the tables episode, and a Plunder that's not an overly convoluted villain probably set the purpose best.
And that's the thing. I think you couldn't have done a Mirrorverse version of him.
Yeah, you have to do a long explanation.
That would because that I'm not gonna lie, those are weird issues. I think they're good, but they're so weird. Maybe you could have done an Earth 2 version of him, but then again, he's not a meta. But I did like what they did with the gun. Like, this is the thing I like. So if you can't take things straight from the comics, if you make changes and make them ways to fit what you're doing and still keep the overall idea of it, I'm okay with it. They made his gun really cool. Like them bullets. Like when them bullets came back and started chasing after Bear, I'm like, okay, how did you? Where did
they established they made him a real threat?
Right, and I'm like, okay, where did his gun come from? I have questions,
which is a good mystery for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I have questions now because I'm like, he had that. He had the little the sonic device. He had the bullets that the exploding ones. He had the bullets that turned into like some kind of like electronic fence that the 2 Flashes had to run through. Like,
well, we've seen very explicitly anti-speedster tech come from the General.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe he stole it.
Well, maybe he stole it, or maybe the General's back. Like,
yeah.
Like, I mean, the thing is, it's good that I think, and you're right, it caught you off guard, but I'm glad they didn't really explicitly say this is what it is, because without even saying a word, they seeded a mystery that I'm curious about.
Yeah, I'm very curious about that shit. I'm like, yo, where'd you get this shit from, dude? Like, this is ridiculous. Like, huh? And I just throw it out there. And I'm like, I'm okay with that. So I like that. Caitlyn and her bracelets.
This is going to end poorly.
Charge your bracelets, first of all.
Charge your bracelets.
Charge your bracelets. Come on. Like this. Come on.
I bet you charge your cell phone.
Yeah, but you have one of those portable cell phone chargers. Here's the thing that got me. She had a portable charger for the bracelets. Like, Caitlin.
She's like, well, it just looks weird. I'm like, oh, okay, please don't turn into an evil ice person.
Yeah.
Charge your fucking bracelets.
It's that simple. Keep the charger.
It's really not complicated.
It really isn't. But I did like seeing that this Caitlin and Julian kind of bonding over. Hey, they both have issues,
right?
Different ways, and I like the fact that Julian is a dick. Like, and the first time Caitlin goes to talk to him, I'm like, God, he's a dick. And then I watched it again. I was like, oh wait, when she goes back to talk to him, he does kind of admit that he's a dick and not a people person. I'm like, oh yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah, he's never contended he wasn't a dick, so I don't really hold that against him.
No, I don't. And I also like the fact that they kind of explain that like he feels guilt over the deaths of the officers he killed as alchemy. Like he told her, he was like, listen, when I see you, I think of what I did at that time. And you had Caitlin kind of telling him, it's like, listen, I tried to murder my best friend.
And I think it's really good that, maybe not good, it's appropriate that they slow played this whole relationship, or even us feeling anything for Julian, because Tom Felton's a good actor. Mm-hmm. And bringing him into the show was a get for the show. And for a while, I was like, are they just going to waste him? And then when they made him alchemy, I thought, oh, I get it. Okay, you make him the bad, I get it. But making him an unwitting bad guy and like building his own redemption arc,
right, is
a real, because, and I said earlier what a good actor Grant Gustin is, and he is. Tom Felton's a great actor,
right,
and he sells like to the point where I think he was so good in those Harry Potter movies. Every time I see him, like, he's a dick. Mm-hmm. I just think he's a dick, and it's really refreshing to see them evolve him on the show.
Yeah, I mean, we were both on that. Oh well, I kind of wish that he wasn't an alchemy thing, and
right, we were like, it's a little too obvious and cut and dry, but they made it interesting.
Right, now they're making it interesting, and then having Caitlin suggest bringing him in the Team Flash. In the back of your mind, you're going, it's a terrible idea. You know, it's like he is alchemy, and what if something happens? And again, remember,
we know Savitar comes back,
right? Maybe bringing the guy who summons Savitar into Star Labs isn't a smart thing to do there. But you also get why they say that. Like Caitlin's whole thing about how, hey, listen, you know, Barry, when you know you had Joe and Iris when things went, when you lost your dad and when things went down, you had all of us. Yeah, Cisco, when you lost Dante, I slept on your couch. He has nobody right now. You know, and I know that what we go through, there's nobody else he can talk to. And I'm like, it's going to end poorly, but I also get the argument, right? Because what's better? Do you want him sitting there by himself, stewing and knowing who God knows what, or do you want to keep him close and maybe help him through this? I don't know the answer to that. I think they're both bad choices.
Because it actually boils down to almost keep your enemies closer.
Yeah. Really what it comes down to.
And so even from a tactical standpoint, I came – at first I was like, Caitlin just doesn't want to be the only broken person in the room.
Mm-hmm. you never want to have that. You never want to be that. Hey, listen. Yeah, sure. I might have tried to murder you, but he's almost the guy that murders Iris, so –
If we're ranking, I'm just saying, shoot, you're ahead of it.
Right.
But the more I thought about it, the more I think, yeah, yes, it is a little bit altruistic, but at its core, it's we should probably keep an eye on you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And I love how they're playing that. And I think it matters. But we just know it ends poorly.
Oh, it ends very poorly.
HR and opening the Star Labs Museum. Listen, Cisco being a dick to HR was hilarious, but I'm like, Cisco, he makes a good point there.
He makes a lot of good points there.
I mean, I saw everybody was kind of downplaying what HR was doing here, and I know we're all on this guy is terrible, but the Star Labs Museum thing is probably his best idea. Like, it's so good, I think he had to steal it from somebody. Like, there has to be, like, a Star Labs Museum back where he's from or something like that, because there's no way he came up with this idea all by himself. Right?
Right.
But it makes sense. Like, you have to you need a way to make money. Like at some point, that trust stuff that their first Harrison Wells set up to give to Barry and stuff like that is gonna go away. So, like you said, he's like, "Do you want to eat Hot Pockets the rest of your life, Cisco?" Like you guys want all the.
I like how Cisco wasn't sure though. He's like,
right,
maybe they're pretty good.
Yeah, Hot Pockets. But it makes sense. You have to have some way of sustain. Like I know we talked about before. Hey, maybe they're getting patents and all this other stuff. But at some point, it needs to. You need to have some kind of sustainable money.
It's got to evolve.
Yeah.
You've taken it over 2 years ago now. It's got to evolve at some point. We also saw when Barry ran into the future the first time. We saw the Flash Museum.
Right.
So we had to get there somehow, and I think a Star Labs museum catering to science kids is a great bridge to that.
Mm-hmm. Who the fuck is Olga?
I'm thinking like a Red Trinity speeder. Because remember they had those Russian speedsters in like the early '90s in that Wally run. Mm-hmm. But I didn't even look it up because I completely forgot about it. But yeah, I have no idea.
Like she didn't speak English. Like who is this person? Like,
is that someone's niece who wanted to be on the show? Like, what's going on here?
It was just so weird. I'm like, she doesn't speak English. She doesn't interact with anybody else. But she's helping HR run this. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, who the fuck is Olga? I don't.
I'll really enjoy it if each time we go to the museum, it's a different woman. Mm-hmm. Like HR's been sneaking out and just. Yeah, if you're gonna stay the night, you could probably work the next day. I got a job for you.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like I don't know who the fuck.
I want them to make I want the subplot to be like HR secretly Tony Stark and just like this womanizing because he's got the image inducers thing.
Right. Well, that makes you wonder. Like, true. Like, is Olga somebody using the image inducer? Which throws me off because I'm like, he's walking around with Harrison Wells. And you forget that he has the image inducer on, and so that everybody else sees him.
Yeah.
You're like, wait, dude, shouldn't you be used? Oh, that's right, you already did it, and so we don't have to do it ever again. Okay, that's not too bad. So, yeah, that's kind of an important, it's kind of an important tool they have that you kind of forget that they have an image inducer. That's good to know. Good to know.
It'd be nice for them to use that later on to pay it off.
Yeah, just to remind you that yes, we're doing this. Like his got to go in the fridge or something like that, and somebody sees his real face. Something just to remind us.
Right.
Yeah. Love that the other thing too is HR is addicted to coffee, and they got to pay themselves at some point. He's addicted to caffeine, and it's a fucking problem.
Maybe he gets speed powers now.
He thinks he gets speed powers from caffeine.
HR, you just haven't slept in 4 days.
He has a caffeine addiction. Like it is a fucking problem. It brings up every fucking time. Drives me crazy.
Look, Barry had a breaking the timeline addiction. Can we just celebrate this first win?
Okay, yeah, you're right. All right.
Or do we celebrate it because he used Cisco to vibe back into the future?
Oh, we haven't got the. We'll get there. We'll get to the future stuff because, yeah. Going into that, like I like the conversation that he had with HR. When he was asking like, "Can you change the future?" and HR was like, "I think a man meets his destiny on the very road he takes to avoid it." You know, and
but before that, he cited 2 fan theories. Right. So guess what? I know it affected Barry and helped him make his decision or whatever. For me, I was like, he's George Lucas. Like, well, there's theories.
Right.
I read what the fans say. What do you think? Right. He didn't say, "What do you know?" He said, "What do you think?" And then he said the answer, which is a good, poignant answer.
Right.
But it's based in nothing.
Right. well, again, you gotta ask, why did Barry even go to the guy who doesn't really know anything?
So he could dismiss what he said if he didn't like the answer,
right?
Which is exactly what he did,
right?
He said, "Oh, I can't avoid it." Okay, yes, let's go.
Look, I'm not gonna lie. I also love the love the little explanation they did with the dominoes and that. Like Barry having to go and reach the dominoes up for HR both times. He's like, Barry,
I love that they kept stepping on his example. Like he's like, I've got this deep thing. Like, you mean the domino thing? Like, no, not that. Let me say it.
Yeah. Sound it out. But I think, again, for all his failings, the first thing he said to Barry and the thing with the dominoes, he made sense. It's like, listen, maybe you can change some of these things, but it's a matter of what do you change and how will it change that future, and if it will even affect it. You don't know.
Yeah, and it's also, I think, kind of went unsaid, you don't know what else you're affecting.
Exactly. So, all right, so we get this. So we're done. We're done fucking up the past. Let's fuck up the future.
Okay, so let's have this conversation. Can you fuck up the future? The answer in this show, by the way, is yes, because we've seen the newspaper article change.
Yeah.
You can break the future.
Mm-hmm.
That does not mean you should try to.
Right.
Like, he's going for a controlled explosion of the future. This is going to end so poorly.
Yeah.
Why is HR on top of the building?
Why didn't he shoot? He has a gun. He's on top of the building. Why didn't HR shoot or anything like that?
Because maybe he knows something. Maybe they see something further that happens next. Like, that's the other thing, is that time travel fucks with your head, because if HR has more knowledge than he has in our current present, we don't know why he's on this roof.
Right.
It's a good narrative device to kind of hide the ball, and I do think that this is an interesting way to do it, because for so long we've been running from our past in this show. Now we're running to our future, but it even makes the show feel, again, sorry with the puns, faster, because you're not running away from something, you're running at it.
Mm-hmm.
And each week, like you mentioned on the calendar, we're literally running to Savitar stabbing Iris.
Mm-hmm.
I hope they don't overdo, though. Let's go look at the future and see what's changed and what hasn't too much.
Yeah.
That's a danger I don't want them to get into.
No, you don't. But we already know. We know the things. We got Music Master gets a book deal, which is going to be obviously the musical crossover episode. Joe West is at City Hall. Is he joining City Hall?
No, he was getting a medal.
Getting a medal at City Hall. Luigi's opens up after murder. Killer Frost is still at large.
Oh, that's happening, by the way. They're going to fail on that.
Yeah. Star Labs Museum closes.
That's sad.
My favorite one, City's still recovering from following guerrilla attack.
Which I think didn't get focused on enough.
Right. Like, I'm sorry. Wait, excuse me?
They were like, oh, Joe's getting a medal. Did you not hear
guerrilla attack?
The gorilla thing.
Yeah, that's kind of a major thing there. Just saying. So
you don't yada yada that.
Yeah, you really don't. Really don't yada yada guerrilla attacks. Yeah, those are the things that we have, and obviously the first one was the Changing Plunder. Plunder was captured by the Flash originally. They changed it, so now it's Kid Flash, which to me, again, you changed it, but did it really do it? That's the other problem too. How do you measure the change?
Did you change it enough?
And do any of those changes? Like how did you can take all these things off the board? Does that stop Savitar from showing up?
Exactly. Because guess what? In the end, what you did was you added an adjective to the headline you saw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That doesn't mean
and somehow put Harrison on the building.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't I don't know what it does. I don't know if it. Yeah, man.
Hey Barry, you know how to really change a headline? Kill him.
Kill who?
He can't go to trial if he's dead.
Oh. Yeah, but does that change Savitar?
I don't know, but it seems a lot more final than adding an adjective to the word Flash in the headline. Erase the headline. Snap his neck. Look, I know it would never happen. I'm just saying he was willing to let him go to the point where he yelled at Wally for catching him.
Okay, Dpalm Snyder.
I'm not Dpalm Snyder. I'm just saying, look, if your decision is I should let them go, I'm willing to let X number of people die or be terrorized to save Iris, why don't you cut that number to 1 and snap his neck? I want someone to make that suggestion on the show. Now, I'm not saying, you know who it should be? You know who it will be? Joe West. Let Joe West find out his daughter's life's on the line.
Yeah, I love that they decided that. You know what? Again, HR with the reasoning go. I'm sorry. I'm gonna start taking this event. I think more people should listen to HR. I started to think more because HR is like, no, we should probably tell him that's not a good idea. Not a good idea. Not to tell Joe West his daughter is going to die. Well, and Iris' whole thing was, well, if we tell him, he'll probably try to go and kill Savitar himself. I'm like, yeah.
Or have Barry just start killing people on that headline list.
Right.
Let's get in front of this. I can see Joe being super proactive.
Right. Remember, he's the one that came around the corner and saw it's what's his name? Hold on.
Right, he came around, saw Wells, and started shooting.
Right, he put and Iris wasn't that far behind because Iris actually shot Wells. I'm just saying. No, not Iris. That was Patty.
That was Patty, who we've all forgotten about.
Yeah, yeah, that's just sad. Sad. Yeah, but yeah. Again, I like these two episodes together because they end kind of on a happy note. Even this episode, it ends with them going to this really expensive loft that Barry is somehow.
All right, let's talk about the party.
Okay.
Joe. Well, let's talk about what everybody brought. Wally brought a plant. Mm-hmm. Not bad.
Not bad.
Wells brought a turtle. Funny, because he's the Flash.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And Joe gave them a picture of them going to school. A further reminder that you're basically dating your sister.
Okay, I thought the same thing.
Joe's gift sucks.
Well. Does it? If you're a dad? I know you're having sex with my daughter, but just.
But remember, you're also having sex with your sister.
Right.
Like, what? No, that's just. I don't know, man. I think Joe would support his. That was some. Yeah, that was. No.
It was kind of creepy. I'm not going to lie.
It pulled me out of the episode. I was like, okay, look. That's another reminder that they did grow up together.
No, technically, they're not brother and sisters, even though.
He moved into her house when he was 8.
Yeah, and Joe does say both my sons are heroes. Like, it's just very creepy, yo.
I'm just saying, like, if the opening shot's gonna be them in bed, the closing can involve them holding book bags 20 years prior.
Hey, you know what? The other thing that kind of pulled me out too, not pulled me out, but I was just like, bad choice of words. When Barry tells Iris, "I swear on both our parents' lives," I'm like, well, Barry.
I was like, Barry, that seems like. See, you're saying one thing and you mean one thing, but that's not what actually got said.
Barry, first of all, you guys only have one parent left, all right? Because Joe's the only one living. Because your mom and dad are both dead. Her mom is dead. Like, you only got Joe, yo. Like, I get what, like you said, I get what you're saying. No, not helpful. Not helpful.
No, super not helpful.
Not helpful. Oh, man. Oh, God, yo. This drives me crazy. Oh, my goodness, man. Yeah, man. Like you said, what I love about the Flash is, in the last few seasons, they've given us somewhere to run to. Literally. And in this case, we're now running towards May 23rd.
Right.
That is it. We're running towards May 23rd. And, we'll see what happens. You know, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward. I went back and looked at the article again. They keep bringing up the 2024 article from the future. They had Green Arrow, Flash, Atom, and Hulk Girl take on the Reverse Flash. It's like, so does that mean we're bringing Hulk Girl back at some point?
Maybe that's something that can change.
Oh, I'm hoping so.
As long as we're changing futures, could you kill them Hawk kids? Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, shit. Can we do that? So.
I also like Cisco being sneaky supportive of the museum.
Oh, yeah. Well, because I like, for all the seasons we've had them, I really love seeing the dynamic between Cisco and some version of Harrison Wells.
Which, by the way, Tom Cavanaugh's playing the hell out of this character again.
Goodness gracious, man.
And they have so much on-screen chemistry that even, like, if you go first season, the father-son, second season, openly antagonistic towards each other, and third season, this is basically Wells as a puppy, like, begging for attention from Cisco. The dynamic shifted each time, and it's always entertaining and always pays off. And I just like them together. It's really well done.
No, I mean, what's interesting about the first two seasons is the way they've thrown this on its head is, like you said, the first two seasons were Cisco in some way looking for validation from Wells. Now it's Wells looking for validation from Cisco.
And Cisco, it still works.
Yeah, and Cisco being more mature. He's definitely colder. He's different. He's a different Cisco, obviously, and he still has that pain of Dante's death because you can see he's a little darker. Like the way he responds to people in this episode, you're like, damn, Cisco, that's kind of mean. Like at one point, I think at one point somebody's like, I think HR said to him, "It's like that's kind of mean." And Cisco just like, "Yeah, no, like he's a dick." He was literally being a dick. It's like I had better things to do than this Flash Museum. You're wasting everybody's time. Go away. I'm like, God.
Yeah, that was you're 100% right. That threw me too, actually.
Well, but it makes sense because it's been. We got to remember this isn't our Cisco.
Oh yeah, that's exactly
You know, and I think that having that there kind of reminds you, it's like, oh yeah, this Cisco. Because if you bring him back just to the happy-go-lucky Cisco, you forget. Shit, no. When we first met him this season, he was in a dark place because of his brother. So, and you got to think about it. This is a guy who has a face of the man who murdered him, and now you have this new Wells, and he's an idiot. He's a liar. He doesn't really bring anything to the table through what people can say.
And he still looks like the guy who murdered him.
Right, and he's still the guy who murdered him. So it's just like his frustration when he couldn't pass him the tool he needed. He was just like, "Why are you here? Like, what are you doing? Like, you're trying to redeem yourself. You're not bringing anything to the table." But I do think that I do think that Wells is doing that. The HR is doing things that they need. They need that museum.
Yeah,
you need to bring in that. You need to bring in some kind of money. So, yeah. You got anything else you want to say about this? Dpalm?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, you got anything else you want to say about this one?
No. I'm glad it's back. It's a good, fun hour. I thought they'd take more on-screen chances with the return episode.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of
because you might have new viewers, but they did a good job of advancing the characters. And the story was a big story because you advanced the Iris is going to die plot. But visually, I was underwhelmed by a lot of the effects this episode.
Yeah, that's the weird. That was the one thing that got me this episode. Like the effects weren't.
The yellow didn't look great.
Like
when he's running, like when they had the side by side running.
Yeah.
Down that alley.
Yeah.
It looked really bad.
Yeah, and Wally taking on Plunder, it just looked really. I don't know, not their finest hour, but I'm holding out faith because they've never. This is the first time we've ever talked about like the effects not looking.
Anything negative about the effects. Normally we're like, oh my god, they did Gorilla Grodd.
Yeah, this one was kind of weird, which makes you think maybe they had to take a break because they were working on something big for a episode full of gorillas,
which is coming because the headline promised it.
Yes.
Barry, don't you take away this gorilla attack.
Yeah, no, the gorillas have to.
I know you're changing headlines, but you relax, buddy.
Yeah, let's not go too far here, buddy. Yeah, so yeah, there you guys have it. Flash is back. We're back, and we do know that yes, Legends of Tomorrow did air right after this. You will hear us talk about that on Sunday.
I haven't watched it yet.
I have not. Here's the thing. I'm gonna try my hardest not to watch it right after the Flash, just because I need the fucking break, dude.
You need the break, exactly.
I need the fucking break.
I'm so glad you just like. I was like, I need an hour off.
I need the hour off.
I didn't always have it, but now that I've got it, I know I need it.
Yeah, I need the hour off just because. Well, because the reason why I need the hour off now is because I can do 2 in a row. I can do 2 hours. I can't do 3 hours in a row, man.
Yeah,
and it's hard enough staying awake for that Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. at 10. But I need to watch the Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. at 10, so I need the hour break in between. So
yeah, no, you're 100% right.
All right, folks, there you guys have it. Again, remember, email us mtrailerreviews@movietrailerreviews.net or leave us a 5-star review. Super Tuesday recap on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and we'll read it on air.
Also, go premium. Get your friends to go premium. Singing Kriss.
Yeah, there you guys have it. You guys got until March, so. I'll do weekly updates, and also I'm still putting myself together. Join the Facebook group MTR Network. We are going to be putting out our nostalgia and comic book clubs coming up for the next couple of months. I think I already sent emails out about this. Next week we're doing Planetary, and I know some Hellboy stuff is coming out soon as well. But join the Facebook group, and there might be a post. You'll hear me talk more about it, definitely on the Sandy Check this weekend, and we'll go from there. If you guys want to join those, you guys know I'll put out the email addresses to email me at, or hit us up on the Facebook group to go from there. So, again, guys, thank you guys very much for listening. Until next time, we're out of here. Peace.